Well, hi. I don't know if you can see this beautiful sunset. Probably not. Okay, there it is. Anyway, this isn't going to work, huh? Well, that's really what should be important is the sun. Let's see that. I'll go with the ugly clouds. Hey, so I worked at USAID, and I've mentioned that a little bit. I've mentioned it. It's when I felt it's relevant, and I think it's relevant right now because Trump is bringing it up again. And hey, Tony. So I my main message is don't trust your government. I worked there. I had loved it when I worked there for in the beginning, and then towards the end, actually I went through like waves of understanding, and that maybe this people were not good. Um, who I worked with. It's hard to talk about because it was an important part of my identity for that time in life and here in Colombia. And this is how I tell people in Spanish. I was director of communications for a total of $250 million crossing 4 different projects that were in alternative development and um, basically alternative development. Just think about those two words together. And what we did was we worked to genetically modify the produce of all of the country, and this is the second most biodiverse country on earth. And we worked to create laws to put small landholders into formalization so that to formalize their property so that they would pay taxes. And they started paying taxes something like $30 a year, and then within 10 years it went up to $3,000, and they took the land away, the government. So I'm going to go. I got to think more about how I want to explain this because I don't know. There's so much. Those are two of the big broad strokes, but we created affirmative action in Colombia. I worked on telemedicine, digital cities, smart cities, didn't know what it meant, didn't even really ask too much because I loved my job and I was flying everywhere and my ego was satisfied and everybody was proud of me and everybody was excited that I worked at the U.S. Embassy like I was. And I'm really ashamed and I can absolutely pinpoint my part in it. And there are a lot of us, but there weren't a lot of Americans. And the Americans that were here, they just get shifted out. And then, of course, if you've been following this USAID stuff, you know that maybe you haven't followed it. Most people don't. They're just like, oh, Trump's going to, close an agency. Well, I don't think that they're going to do much except maybe transfer these people around into different agencies or absorb them into the Doge or whatever. They're already spinning information. And it's all the same people. I mean, I'm deep into the natural law movement, and I believe in sovereignty. I know how to read laws now. I read laws back then. I had, on one of our projects, we had about 200 people, and a good 30 of them were lawyers. And my job was to write the quarterly report, was to write certain parts of the quarterly report that my boss ended up doing the final edits on, that justified this huge amount of money from your taxes to be spent on efforts that didn't help the Colombian people, didn't help the American people, but did help a small group of people that run the world cartels. So So, hey, is that Maury? Thanks for being here. And I'm gonna check out right now. I want to think about this a little bit more of how I present it. And kids are coming home. See you later. And thank you.